we love the strategy behind it and thinking about what the creative and the reels can be. But then when it comes to actually creating and hitting post, we weren't doing it.
Welcome to Duo On Air, where we help you get seen, remembered, and wildly obsessed over by your audience. We're your hosts, Abby
and Courtney, a pair of ex-agency besties who ditched the cubicles, the Minneapolis skyways, and the corporate jargon for work that matters, with people who inspire us every day. Today, we're a women-powered marketing agency serving brands worldwide, bringing those big agency results without the corporate price tag.
Around here, it's all about what actually grows your business: branding, SEO, websites, and navigating the real-life ups and downs of building a dream while raising tiny humans. We're moms, wives, and best friend business partners in the trenches with you, making the hard stuff feel easy and a whole lot more fun.
So pour a fresh cup, get comfy, because you're exactly where you need to be.
Let's duo this.
Welcome back to the Duo On Air podcast. This is episode number 159, and today we're going to pull back the curtain on how we plan content each month for Duo Collective. When we say content, this is specifically Instagram that we're talking about. It doesn't mean for us, yes. It doesn't mean that it can't necessarily obviously be repurposed into a newsletter or a blog or whatever it might be, but this is specifically for our social grid, and we kind of just want to take you through the process today on how we do this. We used to have a better structure way back when we started, and then it kind of fell away.
I mean,
we kind of just
business grew in our capacity for the old way that we created content didn't really work anymore.
No.
So we had to adjust it, which I think is very normal. Like, I think it's really easy as a business owner to get caught up in the fact that you're not doing what you could do before. But the reality of the situation is you're not doing it because it's not working, or it's not working for the current systems you have, or the way you were doing it didn't make sense, or your business grew so much that you just don't have time for it.
Right. And so, yeah, and that's totally okay. And we needed to restructure it for our business where it is now, because we've grown and evolved. So we have a new process in place. It's been working really well. And now that we have a team, we actually have people that can help us implement some of this. So that's really nice too. That's where the process also had to change. So we thought we would just take you through kind of what that looks like. And maybe if you're in the same situation, this would be something that makes sense for you, or maybe you'll come out of this with different ideas on how you can content batch and what that looks like for your business. But it's worked really well for us. We have a lot of fun when we do these days. We have specific days set on the calendar for them. And we thought that this would just be helpful because we all know that content creation can be really overwhelming. It's something that we're always trying to keep up with. Sometimes it's really hard to batch, so you feel like you're trying to do Instagram posts on the fly. And this process that we have in place that we're going to talk to you about today is taking that away, right? It's taking the need for doing it daily or trying to do it weekly or trying to do something on the fly. This really helps you get everything set for a solid month. And it also brings in the strategy. So it's not just posting to post. It's why are we posting this? Being very strategic about planning our calendar out on things like SEO on tap launches, or, we're doing this offer or promotion, or we're doing a collaboration with so-and-so. It really helps us to plan out that month and be really strategic and purposeful about what we're going to post that month.
Yeah, and a lot of times, when we're ideating topics to bring to the podcast, a lot of times they're topics that we wish we could have heard someone else's thoughts on.
Yes.
Or behind the scenes. And this is a good example of that. Is a lot of people share their, you see this all the time, strategies to get 1 million followers or get 100,000 views on your reels or whatever. And you see this stuff all the time, but you don't exactly see the process of the planning, how to schedule it out, how to conduct that, the nitty gritty. And we'd love to see that. And two of our best performing blogs are batching Instagram reels. People still are craving some type of consistent plan, and in no way do we think ours is perfect and the gold standard, but it works really well for us, and we just started implementing this, and we started doing it with more help now. So I think as you listen to this, whether Instagram's yours or TikTok or LinkedIn, it's going to apply for you to help batch and create your content, but also I want to challenge you to think about who can help you do this.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, like, we found the biggest flaw for us was the execution. We love coming up with the ideas, and we love the strategy behind it and thinking about what the creative and the reels can be. But then when it comes to actually creating and hitting post, we weren't doing it.
No, that's where we were failing.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if you think about where you can't cross the finish line, that can help you figure out who you need. Do you need an expert on the strategy side of things, or do you need an executor? Like, could you bring in a VA? Could you bring in someone to help you throughout this process to make it actually happen?
Yeah. And I think asking yourself those questions too, like, what is the sticking point, or like, where am I like falling short? Because that's where Abby and I had this conversation a few months ago. We're like, we have the strategy. We have like the cute templates made. We have everything ready. We just can't execute. We just can't like do that last part of it. And that's what we were struggling with. And so that's where we decided we still need to do all of like the strategy behind it and all of that kind of content and the planning, but we need somebody to actually help us push publish on that. And that's what we had decided to do. And that's what we've done the past couple of months. And this process has been like evolving the past couple of months, but I feel like we're like at a really solid place now, and we all feel really good about how it's been working.
Agreed. So the very first thing we do to kind of kick off the month of content that we're going to create, sometimes we can get through more than a month too, so it just kind of depends, is we schedule a monthly content CEO day. So we have these in person for us because we'll talk about this in a little bit, but we do it along with recording some reels at the same time. So it kind of is productive. And also it's just more fun.
It's a fun way to get together and brainstorm. Like we can all just sit there in a group. We can, make it fun and just sit there and brainstorm ideas. Like, hey, what have you seen out there that's like really exciting to you? Or like you learned something from that? Or like, what is something we can educate our audience on? What is something that you would crave as a consumer of our education or whatever we're providing? So it's just really nice to brainstorm in person. Sometimes brainstorming over a Zoom or even over email or over some sort of a doc that you've created together, it's just not the same. It doesn't have that spark.
Yeah, so even if you can find another business friend, grab your partner, grab someone just that you can maybe brainstorm with, because it's just a lot more fun when you can I think we don't brainstorm enough in business. Like, actually have that white blank page for ideas. So starting there can help produce a lot better content than just coming up with things on the fly.
Yeah.
Actually giving yourself time to think strategically about what's happening. So for us, the time block really helps because it keeps us accountable and makes sure that we have it.
Yep.
And we make sure before we leave the next one that the next one's planned. So before we leave, we already know when we're talking about content, and it usually lines up with how much content we have.
Yeah.
So
last time we got through like a month and a half, actually. Yeah. So like, therefore, we can kind of shift the next meeting to be like, when we're down to kind of 2 weeks left, we'll have another meeting so we can plan the next month or month and a half, however much we get through.
Yep. And then we always make it fun. So coffee, breakfast, lunch, for us, drinks and food usually makes it fun.
Put on a good playlist. Sometimes we're just like, what are we feeling today? Like, what vibe do we want? And then we have somebody have a little playlist going, and then we kind of just like sit there, brainstorm, shoot off ideas, show examples of what we're thinking. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
So the next thing is finding content ideas. So like, obviously sometimes they're just ideas that we have, or there's things that we've seen out there. So it's really we make sure that we come to these meetings with some ideas already like in our brain, in our notes, whatever it might be. So we don't want to all just come like, so what do we think? But that's part of being like a content creator too. You're probably always finding inspiration or ideas. So it's coming to these meetings with some of those ideas. They can be rough. They don't have to be like all thought out or strategically planned, but just rough ideas. So we like to find ideas on Instagram, obviously, whatever platform you're on and you're providing content for, that's usually where you're going to find some of your inspiration. So just making sure that you're looking for that inspiration wherever it might be. Podcasts. You might have heard a podcast and you're like, wow, great. This would be like really good. This pertains to my business or my product. How can I make some sort of a social content piece out of it? repurposing old content that you have, looking back at blogs or whatever it might be that are performing really well, repurpose those and make a carousel post out of it. And then things like client features, product features, whatever your business is, whether it's service or product, just thinking through some of those fun ideas that you can incorporate throughout your social content plan for that month. And then making sure that your inspiration isn't forgotten. Sometimes, you see something out there and you're like, oh, this is such a cool idea. I think it'd be great for a social post. And then having a systemized place where you can save those things. So specifically on Instagram, we have a folder that we save reel ideas to, or content ideas to, or sometimes we share, like even in our tips and sips email, if you are subscribed, you'll see that we always got a sip in there. So we specifically have a folder on Instagram that we save, drink inspiration to, that we can always go back to and make sure that we use for our content. So always saving things. Trending audio, that's a good one. If you're like flipping through reels and you find some trending audio, you can save that audio and then you have it saved for next time when you're creating content.
Yeah, and I will say too, like we always have these content ideas saved because a lot of them can be like an anytime kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're not required to like hit a certain month or day or period or whatever that may be. But whenever we start, so whenever we like actually, which is a little teaser into the next section of like mapping out what we're actually going to post. So like when we're sourcing content ideas, Instagram isn't our number one platform when it comes to content. So like I would say the podcast and the blog are the two that already have plans for what we're going to talk about and how that aligns to like our overall year-long marketing strategy. So like going back to our annual planning meeting, which we'll make sure to link that episode in the show notes, we planned out the whole year. So we know what's happening each quarter from a really, really high level standpoint. What affiliates do we want to support? When is the course launching? Do we have specific service pushes? Like, are we pushing branding at a certain time or SEO at a certain time, and why? And so those high level nuggets remind us what to share during this time frame. So like, for example, there's some affiliate partners that we really, really love and we want to support and talk about more. So we just write down a couple of them each quarter, and now we know from a content perspective that we need to support it in some way. So there's like there's like fun with finding the ideas, and then there's also a strategy behind it of like, what do we have to focus on, and then let's sprinkle in the fun.
Yeah. And I think the fun, like, you're looking for the fun, but you're also thinking, because you have that strategy in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, how does this fun idea fit into our strategy? So it's not like you're trying to take a fun idea and like create it from scratch. You're kind of backing into it, right? Like you have your strategy, you see this fun idea. Let's take that fun idea and make it work for us strategically with what we have planned out throughout the year. So it's a neat way to look at it that way, and you've already kind of gone into it knowing in the back of your mind, like, these are the things that we're focusing on this quarter. So when you're looking for some of that inspiration and you see something, sometimes they blend and they work really well together. Sometimes you might be trying to stretch something, which I think sometimes I do. I'm like, hey, Abby, look at this one. Can we make it work for this? And she's like, because you know me, I like to dance with wigs on, and Abby's like, yeah, no, let's not.
Yeah,
but it's just nice to have, like, with that annual planning meeting and having that structure for what we're going to do each quarter, just knowing that we've got those plans. And when you see some of these content ideas, you're like, oh, that could really work for this quarter and like for what we're pushing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's finding a happy medium for sure.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about mapping out the month. So figuring out first that big picture, like what's happening this month. So we're going to look at that strategy piece of it. We're going to look at what we scoped out for that quarter, even of like, what affiliates are we supporting? Are there any launches? Do we have promotions? Is there a webinar? Do we have a collaboration? Are we being featured as a guest on a podcast? Different things like that. So that really helps us like put those into the calendar, and then also understand like, okay, if we have this specific event coming up, 2 weeks before, we should probably start talking about it. So, like, it's not this last minute thing either where you're like, wow, I have 3 days to push this.
Right. And it helps you to, like, build that thing. Like, we have an event coming up soon, and it helps us to, like, build excitement about it, hopefully get more eyes on it, get more people to attend the event. So it's not like a last minute thing where you're like, oh, crap, we have this event next week. We need to get more people to sign up. We just got to post like crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And then if there's any fun holidays, anything that kind of aligns with your strategy pillars. So building out those strategy pillars is super important, and we're not going to spend, that's a whole episode in and of itself.
Absolutely.
We're not going to spend a ton of time going through that right now, but having these content buckets. So for us, we have one for SEO, we have one for branding, we have one for overall business entrepreneurship, kind of that real life stuff, partnership because we're partners, and motherhood. I kind of think those are big buckets.
Yeah.
So our buckets aren't like crazy unique, and I don't think yours, don't put the pressure on yourself to have to be crazy unique either.
Right. Or like super, super specific or like whatever.
They should be broad, and they should align to like what's the goal of that content you're sharing. So like there's some content we share is just because we want to connect with our audience and create a community. It's not like we're doing it because we need you to buy something that has to do with being a mom and a business owner.
Right. It's like, not all sales focused, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Yep. So, but then we obviously have some pillars that are like more focused on our offerings and what we have. So, it's really important to make sure that you're thinking about that and that you have variety as you're thinking through your content too.
Yeah. And I think the thing too is just like this all helps with like that panic of like, oh my gosh, what should I post today? So like this whole episode is basically helping remove that panic. And it also helps you to stay consistent on that platform. I think that's a thing too in the past where we were like, we were so consistent for a while and then we weren't. We would have like phases, like ebbs and flows of being super consistent, and then we'd fall off, and then super consistent, and then we'd fall off, and then like consistent for 2 weeks, and then we'd fall off. This helps you to be consistent throughout the entire year. Now, that doesn't mean that like some weeks we might post 4 times, some weeks we might post twice a day, 3 days a week. Like it just kind of depends on what's happening that month or that quarter. But it really helps you to like keep that consistency, because we know that consistency equals growth, whatever kind of growth that might be, whatever your goal is. And on episode number 54, we kind of break down some of those strategies to stay motivated on Instagram specifically. But I think that's the hard thing too, is that like that motivation, like how do you keep that motivation going? Because again, content creation can be really stressful, and showing up online in spaces like Instagram specifically, TikTok, whatever it might be, sometimes it gets to be a lot and it's overwhelming and it's hard to stay consistent because you start to feel burnt out. But if you have a plan and you're sticking to it and you've got things planned out for a month, month and a half, you feel so much better about it. And then you're actually kind of excited to keep showing up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for us, there's a lot of people who have the mindset of Instagram is my lifeline, so I do have to post every day. So then you have this question of, what am I going to post today? And then you're panicking because it's last minute, and then it's likely not strategic, or if it flops, you wasted your day or time or whatever. Yeah. We don't have that as much because Instagram isn't our lifeline. Like, we do get business from Instagram, but I wouldn't say it's our number one. No. It's pretty high, but I wouldn't say it's like our absolute top one. So if we don't show up for a little bit, we just kind of don't show up at all. We just
we're there or we're not.
Whatever. Yeah. Like then we're just like not, because it's harder. It's like when you work out, right? When you're consistently working out day after day after day, you feel really good about it and you can keep doing it. It's like that's what Instagram is for us.
It's like the gym.
It's like the gym. Instagram is the gym. But it's true. Like I think this process helps us be consistent because the more consistent we are, the better results we see, and then the better results we see, the more excited we are about it. And then actually being able to see results too outside of the gram. Like these posts are meant to grow our email list. They're meant to bring people into our world, to drive podcast listens. Like there's other metrics that we're tracking outside of the vanity metrics of follows and engagement. So that's what we care about. And when you see that move, that's a lot more exciting.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So then the next thing that we do that we kind of briefly talked about is brain dumping. So just getting together and having that brainstorm. So We like to take all of our ideas and throw them into Notion. We're new in the Notion world, but we love it. We are addicted.
We will include a link to Kat, one of our clients. She has an amazing content planning template that we bought from her, and it is incredible. So
it's fantastic. I feel like I'm still learning all things Notion. There's a lot to learn, but it's so amazing once you do start to learn it and utilize it as a tool. It's like perfect for this exact episode, what we're talking about, creating content and scheduling it out. So it's been really lovely, and I think it's been like one of the key successes on like why we can do this successfully. So we take all of our ideas and we throw them into Notion, and they have a brainstorming section. Is it called brain dumping? I can't exactly.
Brainstorm.
Yeah. And we just sit there and we're in that section as we're brainstorming. We're just like, I'm typing away. The girls are shooting off ideas. You can put links in there to reference kind of like what you're talking about, or like if you're driving to a certain events page or services page or whatever, you can put those links in there so you remember what you're talking about. And then
we're not ideating how the reel's going to be clipped together, how the caption's going to be written.
This is very high level. Like, here's an idea. What do you think about that? Here's an idea. This aligns to the month that we're, in. Here's an idea. Let's do that. And then we take them, and you click a button and it highlights all of them. And then what do you press, Abby? Sort. You hit sort, and then it jumps to your content hub.
Yep.
And it throws all of them in this section, and this is specifically in Notion that we're talking about, in this section, and then you take them and drag them to your calendar based on when you want to have them go live and post them. It's really slick. It's really nice.
Yeah. So I think visually, I'm a very visual person.
Yes.
So being able to see your ideas laid out in a calendar template is phenomenal. So then you can actually see the calendar of like what's working, and you know how much you want to share and when certain things are happening to support certain launches, and it's phenomenal.
It's really slick. And then the categories that we use to organize them, so you can have it like the topic. So what are we talking about? The content pillar, where does this fit into our strategy? The post type, is it a reel, a carousel, a static post, a story? The status of the actual post. So like, where is it in its particular status? Is it an idea? Is it in progress? Does it need media? Does it need the caption to be written? Is it ready to post? So we have all of these statuses in there. So even just looking at your calendar, you can see there's like a little tag that tells you where the status is. Like, has it been posted, or does it need media? Does it need a caption? So looking at it from that perspective too, because sometimes we're not necessarily always doing every piece of it, right? So I'm doing the media. If something needs media, I know that that's on me. Like, I have to go in and add that, and then I change the status for whoever needs to see it next, or like do that next phase of it.
Who's writing the caption? Who's publishing and posting? Who's analyzing? Like, it goes through every phase, and each person knows what phase they're responsible for. So it's really helpful. And then there's certain things where I think like I might not be writing the caption, but like my SEO brain needs to like provide the data and the details behind it. So then you can just tag each other and work together to get it done. But it's definitely something where that was the hardest part, is we needed more help getting it done.
Yes. And
we would have never gotten there because there's too many other burning fires that Court and I need to work on. And so we never would have figured out this problem without bringing someone in.
Right.
And I think the reason I say that is because if you're listening to this and the same thing is happening to you, you might also need to bring someone in to ask for help. And one of the things, like lately, I feel like we've been growing our team more rapidly than we ever have before, but the big thing like that, and I said this to Court the other day, I wish we would have done this years ago. Like, I don't know why we waited so long, and I know hiring is scary.
I think that's it.
It was hard work.
It was scary, and it was
it's time consuming,
and it's hard to hand things off.
Yeah.
Because you think that you're like the expert. Like, I am the expert in this. I am the expert in branding. She's the expert in SEO, but that doesn't mean that you can't bring someone on and train them. And also, they don't need to be an expert in those areas, because you should be the one driving the strategy. You should be the one creating the content and the meat of it. But executionally, if you have everything set and in place, you don't need to be doing those things. And that's where I think like that's the beauty of this, and we just didn't see that in the past, because I think it's been really hard for us to let go of things, but the more we let go, the more we're like, wow, we should have done this years ago.
Lovely. Yeah. And it takes a while to find the right team, but once you do, it is like magic. Like, it is so magical. So don't not do it just because it's scary, because once you do, it's just going to be so incredible. So yeah, I think we need to do a whole episode on who you need to hire.
And why. And we'll bring our whole team on and we can all talk.
And breaking down, understanding what type of person you need to hire. From a part-timer to an expert to a contractor to white label. Like, we'll break it all down. So,
oh my gosh, tuned. I'm so excited about that episode.
Me too.
And now I want to outline it.
Me too.
So really all of this, it helps us to turn those ideas into that actual content plan that can be set in place. You actually hit publish, you actually move the needle, you have the consistency within whatever space you're turning up in or showing up on. This is just like, it helps us take those ideas, put it in a structured content calendar. It helps us know when and where the content is going to go live. And we all know that planning ahead actually equals less stress, because there have been so many times I think I've texted or emailed or voxed Abby and I'm like, that reel took me 2 hours and I just came up with the idea today and I posted and it flopped. And then you're just pissed. Yeah. Like, you're just mad. You're angry at Instagram or whatever platform you're on. You're angry that something you spent that much time didn't work. You're angry because it was last minute. You just lost half your day. And it's just not good. It's not good for your mental health either, right? You just get angry and then you don't like it and then you don't want to show up ever again. So this really helps eliminate all of that. Just by having that plan, you feel really good about it. And again, I feel like it's made me more excited to show up on Instagram now that we have that actual plan.
Yeah, 1,000%. It's easier to show up for sure. Yeah, so this, some little nuggets too that we've kind of figured out along the way is making sure that roles and responsibilities are defined very clearly. So tagging people when you need something from them, making sure that it's in the right status, like we talked about before. Does it need copywriting? Does it need media? Does it need to be published? All of that kind of stuff. So like really breaking that down. And again, doing this in a month format allows us to work ahead so that you are done with your content before it's actually going live. So it's just like, it's so nice to be able to actually work ahead on reels, work ahead on posts rather than doing it same day. So.
And a part of why we get together in person too is because then we batch our reels right after we have that content planning meeting. So if we have reel ideas or we know that we have to record some reels, right after we're done putting everything in the calendar, everything's like good to go. It's got its tag, it's got its like the people that have to work on the next piece of it. Then Abby and I put on our acting glasses and we get to business and doing reels. So we'll just record the reels right then and there. All of them are done. We can add them to the specific post in Notion, and we're done. We don't.
And you want to know the best part about our last content planning meeting? We didn't have to do a single reel.
I was shocked because I think we have to do reels next time, if I remember, because I think we got a month and a half out and we're like, wow, this month we don't have to do any.
Yeah.
But it was shocking.
You know what the magic to that is though, is that we've been getting together a lot more, and every time we get together, we are taking a video or two of the space, of us, of something. And those videos can be used in the content.
And that's what we've started to realize more, is that like we don't have to make new videos. We have so many videos from photo shoots or from trips we've been on, events we've been to, just coffee shop work days. And we're like, why don't we just use these? Like, we don't need to create something new. We already have great content and videos, and we can make it a reel and put a caption on it. It can strategically still fit into our plan because it's us and we're the brand. So it doesn't have to be something new. We don't have to do some trending stupid video out there if we really don't want to, because I think we all know that those are kind of dying.
If you're like not wanting to do that part, just remember that if you have content of any sort, like, use it. You can use existing real life content. And we do that all the time too, where we're like, oh, we need some mix of content. Like the other day, Heidi on our team was like, find me some baby working pictures with babies.
Yeah.
And I was like literally sobbing my eyes out because I'm like going
Abby's
through
like,
all these pictures.
I want another baby.
Oh my goodness, these babies.
So it's like real life content like that too. And we talk a little bit about this on episode 26, way back in the day. But showing up as your authentic self. I think gone are the days of trying to do the same thing over and over again in Reels. And I think you are slowly seeing that die. Like when you flip through Reels, you'll see some videos where you're like, oh, okay, that trending audio or that dance or whatever. But like you see less and less of it because I think people are just like, well, I'm just doing the same thing so-and-so did, but just like for our brand. And that's fun sometimes. I'm not saying don't do it. Like if you see an audio or a video that's like, oh my gosh, that's real fun and that pertains to our business because of X, Y, and Z, then do it. It's not to say don't do it, but there's a lot of people out there that are like, cringe, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that to try to get a following or make a sale or whatever. And I think gone are those days. I think just showing up authentically, because you're going to feel so much better too showing up on these platforms if you're authentic, because nobody wants to show up as not themselves.
Yeah. So I have a little homework for everyone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for me. I was like, why are you looking at me like that?
Oh,
okay.
So next time you're scrolling, which is probably right now.
Exactly.
I did see something the other day where someone was like, I was on my medium-sized screen so much today that I'm rewarding myself by watching my big screen and scrolling my little screen.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but here's the thing. So this is why I want that to be your homework. I remember that. I saw that. Did I comment on it? Did I do anything to it? No. I just saw it. I thought it was funny and I moved on, and that's it. So next time you engage on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you're scrolling, what are you engaging with and why? Like, what are the things that actually make you engage rather than just being like, oh, that's funny, move on? Because that's the type of content you want to create, right? You want to create the content that's going to get people to respond and connect with you.
Right.
So think about what you want to connect with when you're scrolling, and then imagine what your audience might want to connect with and engage with you.
Dang. That's good homework. I like it. Well, now I want people to reply to us and tell us.
I know. Please send us if you do that and you're like just shocked at what you find.
Mind blown.
If it
changes your whole social strategy.
Yes. Please message us on Instagram. We love to see it. So, good luck.
It's time for a refill. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Duo on Air.
If you loved hanging out with us today, here are 3 quick ways to support the show. 1, subscribe so you never miss a new episode.
2, share this episode with a biz bestie and tag us on Instagram at duo.collective.
And 3, leave a review because we love hearing from you.
Finally, keep sharing your episode ideas. We love creating content for you. Head over to duocollective.com to catch up on all the latest episodes, brand and website makeovers, SEO tips, and so much more.
See you there. Let's duo this thing called business together.